Привет! Мы продолжаем игрушечку «Столпы земли». В этой серии нам предстоит выяснить, какая связь между отцом Джека и епископом. Ну что же, давай.
If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can.
Bishop Wayleran is at the center of all this.
Так, и чё? Подожди, Джек? Сюда.
Mother says Wayleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death.
Третий человек нужен, ну?
Bishop Wayleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Wayleran's still alive.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
He was on the White Ship. No one survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why?
Почему? Потому что там был король. Семья короля там была. Вот так надо.
Why would Wayleran, Percy, and James be concerned about the White Ship?
The son and heir of King Henry was on board. So were other possible heirs and other members of the royal household. I heard that Stephen was supposed to be on the ship as well, but became ill. He was the only male heir. The only threats were the king's daughter Maud and her half-brother Earl Robert, and they've been at war ever since.
And your father, Earl Bartholomew. He was a threat. He tried to stop Stephen and paid for that with his life. Maybe my father saw something on the White Ship. Proof that Stephen was involved.
Так, теперь король Стефан. Я думаю, это вот так вот также связано.
If the White Ship is involved, then it's likely that Wayleran was told by King Stephen to murder your father.
But he was not king back then. Why would Wayleran listen to him?
He was promised to become bishop.
Of course.
Remember, Bishop Henry is Stephen's brother, and back then he was already one of the most influential clerics in all of England.
But if Bishop Henry is in on all this, what chance do we have to turn this trial around?
It is a public trial. All we want is for Philip to go free. We find a witness to expose Wayleran.
Да, где мы его возьмем-то?
Play along to appear innocent.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's our best shot.
Подожди, Перси тоже связан...
His father.
Перси связан с Вороном. Правильно? Давай так.
How are Prior James and Percy Hamley connected?
Not at all, I would guess.
Except through Bishop Wayleran.
Yes. He needed James to arrest my father and Percy Hamley to hang him.
Now both of them are dead. That can't be a coincidence.
Так. Тогда вот так.
Percy Hamley was poisoned.
One less witness that knew about Wayleran.
And Wayleran probably wanted William to become Earl. He was easier to control than his father.
What about Regan Hamley? She survived.
She was taken to her townhouse in Winchester. And in her condition, she might not be able to help at all.
Давай вот так. Белый корабль.
Wanted to go to England. He was the only one who made it when the White Ship sank.
Ну?
Hardly a coincidence that the king's heirs all died on that ship. Maybe my father knew what happened.
Король Стефан.
What about the king?
Ну, он к отцу никак не имеет отношения вообще. Надо к приору.
Possible that King Stephen asked Wayleran to kill Jack's father.
Подожди, мы же это тыкали уже. Давай вот так.
I wonder if my father ever learned why he was killed.
А при чем здесь вот связь короля и приора, например?
King told James to arrest my father.
No. I find it much more likely that James was instructed to frame your father by Wayleran, his superior. As Archdeacon, Wayleran was much more involved in politics than James would have been.
Может, вот так и белый корабль?
Percy and James might have been working for those who sunk the White Ship.
Могли. Значит, вот так.
If Stephen is involved, then his brother Bishop Henry would be as well.
Но тут нету больше при этого никого. Перси и белый корабль.
People who murdered my father might have worked for someone else. Someone who had an interest in drowning the king's heirs.
Ну, значит, вот него.
Do you think Stephen would have approached Percy directly?
Because of the White Ship? To help him cover up his tracks?
I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Wayleran contacted Percy. Just like he did when he wanted Percy to arrest my father.
Блять, а как тогда они...
It's possible that King Stephen asked Wayleran to kill Jack's father.
Ну, значит, вот так.
If Stephen was responsible for the sinking of the White Ship, then he may have wanted the only witness of what really happened to disappear.
But he wouldn't have done it himself, of course.
No.
Ну? Так а чё тыкать-то? Ты достал меня.
Wayleran, Percy, and James were behind the death of Jack's father.
Ебать, головоломка, нахуй. Так, что мы знаем? Мы знаем, что король попросил его, типа, чтобы убили единственного свидетеля. Он же, в свою очередь, подговорил его и его. Соответственно, этот знал, что здесь. Значит, этому было выгодно его смерть. Но как связать, типа...
Do you really believe the king is involved in all this?
Well, that would at least explain why Wayleran asked Bishop Henry to be part of this trial.
Right. He's Stephen's brother. They seem to have known each other for a long time.
Мне кажется, здесь не хватает этого Генри.
Wayleran is a man who thinks of himself, not of others.
And what about the ship?
Wayleran, Percy, and James
Но это да, могли. Вот так тогда.
always claimed that it had been God's will that he was not on that ship. That he remained as the only male heir.
That wasn't God. I bet Stephen had a hand in the sinking of the ship.
Now imagine what would have happened if he had learned that someone survived. Someone who might have seen what really happened that night.
Ну, значит, вот так.
King is behind all this. What chance do we have to stop Wayleran and save Philip?
We must do our best.
Корабль и ворон.
3 people who murdered my father.
Ну, это понятно, не работали. Приор.
What?
Приор и отец.
Was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
But it's an important lead for us.
Так, вот. Чашка теперь. Теперь вот так.
Philip said that Prior James was an honest man. So perhaps Wayleran forced him to falsely accuse your father.
Maybe.
That might explain why James was guilt-ridden. The monks still tell the stories about how James thought the devil was after him.
Вот. И чашка.
Waylaran and the others claimed your father had stolen a chalice from Kingsbridge Cathedral, and that he sold it.
Yes.
We know that's not true, but we...
It's the only way to help Philip.
Это Перси и чашка.
Percy did not hide the chalice.
Не прятал чашку. Ну и что?
I think we're getting closer.
Нам надо это как-то связать с ним. Может, с королем?
Stephen never came up with the plan to hang your father.
You mean Waylaran did it because he heard rumors and wanted to get closer to Stephen and Bishop Henry? Maybe.
Может, она была на корабле?
Chalice was used to kill the last survivor of the White Ship.
Yes.
Ну, значит, это как-то связано с епископом.
His face when he saw the chalice. That should have been proof enough.
Да, блять. Давай вот так.
Stephen himself probably never said.
Did he ever even see the chalice that they claim he stole? Perhaps not.
Ну, давай Перси и чашка.
Family may never have been in contact with the chalice.
Давай Приор.
Father was locked up in our priory.
I wonder if my father ever learned why.
Ебать, я не понимаю, нахуй. Есть чашка, за которую его судили. Судили вот эти трое. По словам вот этого. А этот был предлогом... Блять, давай еще раз.
Maybe Steve...
You mean Waylaran did it because he heard rumors and wanted to get closer to Stephen and Bishop Henry? Maybe.
Тогда это вот так
Had
вот.
the chalice, but
Свидетель, блять. Может, вот так.
Stephen is involved.
Понятно. Чашку нам надо связать с кем? С Приором еще раз?
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important.
Так, вот, Приор Джеймс и... Приор Джеймс и Келья.
Thought Prior James was dead. That he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Ремиги так сказал.
Father Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river. So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waylaran made Philip prior. Waylaran and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Waylaran later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Waylaran told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waylaran never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already. The trial will continue soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around shiring like that.
Почему?
He's right.
А в чем дело-то?
I'll go look for him.
All right. Take
поч-
care of yourself.
А почему им нельзя разгуливать?
Jonathan,
Yes?
we will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
All right. Remigius. Now where are you?
Ремиги наш свидетель, где же он? Так, мне надо немножко отлучиться. Итак, продолжаем мы. Так, значит, множество людей у собора. Костер. А тут мы. Пошли в костер.
No one may approach the pyre.
Why not?
Bishop Henry's orders.
All right.
Ладно. Где Ремигий?
Brothers,
What is it?
have you seen the Prior of Shiring? Remigius?
We have not. And now step back, brother. We must be done by nightfall.
Ладно. Пошли к народу. Может, они что расскажут интересного?
To go in, Father.
No, not yet. Thank you.
Are you not with Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray they'll set him free.
He's a good man.
He is a heretic!
You're fools! Look at yourselves! Who are you to judge a man who has never hurt anyone?
Forgive them, Father.
We don't judge him, but God will!
Вон, смотри, Ремигий побежал. Падла. Пойдем сюда. Вон же он побежал только что. Да в смысле, блядь? А большой дом, вот, все, пойдем.
I don't think he's here.
Да вон он. Прячется.
Was that him? I think I saw him.
Конечно. Это кто бежит? Церковь Святого Георгия. Пошли. Нет, подожди. Мужчина с ребенком. Пойдем сюда. Это этот же хер.
Have you seen a priest walk through here? Father Remigius?
No, sorry, I haven't.
All right.
Hey,
Yes?
you're Jonathan, right?
Yes, I am. And who are you?
Братец свой.
But there's something you should know. Tom Builder. He left you behind because your mother died. He had no way to feed you. He thought he had no other choice.
How do you know all this?
Что он был там?
He went looking for you an hour later, but you were gone. And when he finally found you in Kingsbridge, he was there for you ever since. But he thought he'd lost the right to be your father.
Just who are you?
Just remember what I said. I pray they won't burn Philip. He's a good man.
Can we go home, Daddy?
Yes. Let's go home.
Смотри, блядь, а. Падла какая, блядь. У, сука. Альфред жопа, конечно.
The door's open.
Ну так заходи.
You had one task. By God! No! Our bishop is very
Пиздос.
No! What are you doing? I'm doing what is asked of me. Stop it!
Иди помогай. Помогай, ломай.
No! Stay away! This does not concern you! No!
Who told you to do this?
No one!
Че ты пиздишь-то? Пизда ворону, нахуй. Ща Ремигий расколется, нахуй, 100 пудов.
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
Do you have a witness?
Да, есть свидетель.
Father Remigius, Prior of Shiring.
Where is Timothy? What they told you is true. Bishop Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead. He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
This is a lie.
Is it? James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth. And then you ordered me to kill him.
Nonsense.
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it. I hit him, but he died in the fire. Jack saw him. It was him. I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
Действительно, с чего бы?
Stop this for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Смотри, блядь, все друг друга закладывают.
Jongleur lived or died.
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
Bishop Henry and King Stephen ordered us to kill the man. You want the truth? That's the truth. Right there.
Опа.
Waileran is a liar.
Regan Hamley.
Who is she?
Ебать развязки вообще, нахуй, лютые.
I have waited long enough for this day. It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men were responsible for the death of the jongleur. James, the prior of Kingsbridge. The sheriff, my husband, Percy Hamley. But it was Waileran who was behind it. And only Waileran.
No!
He had heard rumors about the White Ship, about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor by hanging an innocent man.
But it was not just me. They all knew.
Take him away.
Да Генри тоже падла, блядь, его тоже сейчас засудят.
This is for taking my husband's life.
It was Waileran.
Oh, we did it. It's over.
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree. This trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of fire will take place.
Да в смысле? Че, ёбнулся, что ли, совсем?
To show that the Church is not above God. To show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is madness!
No, they can't do this.
Philip! No! You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the Church, Lady Aliena.
Да в смысле, блядь, серьезно? Может дождь пойдет? Да пойдет дождь 100 пудов, у них же засуха была жесткая, а сейчас дождь пойдет.
Fools and sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames. For his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will.
Сейчас дождь пойдет.
As it is in heaven.
Light the fire!
Да пойдет дождь. Да по-любому пойдет.
There must be something we can do.
Stop this madness!
в смысле, ебать? Да должен пойти дождь. Должен быть. Короче, Уоррен призван к суду, не признались в ереси, очистить память... Вообще все, уже жопа, блядь. Очистить имя отца Джека. Алена простила Филиппа за то, что он вызвал падение ее семьи. Джонатан наконец узнал, кем были его родители. Филиппа приказали сжечь заживо. Блядь, ну это вообще пиздос, нахуй. Глава 21. Эпилог. В смысле, это концовка была? Чего? Нет, это не могла быть концовка. Вернитесь в Кингсбридж. Ты кто вообще? Мы за кого играем? Ты смотри, идет как. Да это по-любому это Филипп. Да это не может быть концовка. Нет, еще вон еще. Последняя глава, кстати. Последняя. 7 из 7. Это последняя. Эпилог, последняя часть. Но это же не концовка была. Пошли. Куда-то. Кто это вообще? Да это Филипп. Да, это Филипп, смотри. Я же сказал, Филипп. Идти домой. Конечно, идти домой. Приор. Приор Джонатан, серьезно? Ты смотри.
Philip.
Сколько лет прошло?
Good to see you, Jonathan.
Tell me, how are things at St. John in the Forest?
Francis is well.
That is wonderful.
Yes, he enjoys the life there. You look worried, Jonathan.
Well, you have a visitor. He just arrived.
Is that not a good thing, Jonathan? Who is it?
That is just it. I wasn't sure if you wanted to see him.
Кто это? В смысле? Джек? Ремигий. Нет, это Уоррен. Это Уоррен, это этот епископ бывший.
It has been a long time.
Yes, it has. I had to know.
Know what?
The truth is, I never saw God or the devil. Have you?
Oh Lord, deliver us from evil. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
There must be something we can do.
Stop this madness! Are you blind? Do you not know that a fire will burn any man, no matter who he is?
Why are you doing this?
After Wayland's words, there is doubt in their hearts about my motives, about my brothers. No words can erase that doubt, but God can. Our Lord is a cleansing fire.
He's still alive. It's a miracle. He is among us. God is here.
Ты смотри, даже дождь не пошел.
Is this possible?
Что это?
We have to stop this.
No, Jack. Come.
My God.
No, but that's what they see. That's what they believe.
The water. It's dousing the flames. It's a trick.
To them, it's a miracle.
The justice of our church. I believe Philip understands that now. His book will be destroyed. If you or your friends ever mention the White Ship again, I promise you will take Prior Philip's place. And God will not be as forgiving.
Their faith in you and your church is restored. I say it was worth sparing that monk's life.
То есть они сами это все подстроили, типа, то есть он будет типа гореть, но херак, там вода пошла. 1175 год. Нихуя, 20 лет спустя, пиздец, сколько, блядь, охуеть.
Yes?
Did you see God? Did he save you that night?
Блять. Нет, не бог это. Так-то.
I told him. He only smiled at me. I never saw him again, as long as I lived.
Philip is back.
Philip! Did you walk all the way? Again?
Just part of it.
Old fool.
Ellen stayed in Kingsbridge. I thought I had lost God, that he did not watch over us. But now I see him every day. He is in the good we do, in how we show our love. Jack's hands had become rough, his hair grey, but his eyes still burned bright like hot coals.
It's good to see you.
Aliena's gaze could be as stern as her father's had been, but her heart and wit made her a leader people did not follow out of fear, but out of respect and loyalty.
Jonathan told us you had a visitor.
Just an old friend.
What do you think of this window?
Jonathan came to look more and more like his father, Tom. As Prior of Kingsbridge, he is also a builder of sorts.
I use mostly warm colours. What good are the large windows if it feels cold?
Sally is as stubborn and as gifted as her parents. It is her stained glass windows the light is falling through. She has children of her own now.
And I'd like to show you the plans for the new cloister.
Tommy will be the next master builder and is as silent as his grandfather was. Once I heard him admonish his father to be more serious at work. Jack only smiled. He knew Tommy was right. Martha stayed in Kingsbridge as well. She was always there for every one of us.
Is the judge done now?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Is the judge done now?
It will never be done. Not in my lifetime. Not in yours.
Remember us for what we did, for who we were, and maybe for what we tried to be. And when you turn your eyes to our cathedral, maybe you will see yourself.
Ну что же, ребятки, могу вас поздравить с окончанием такой классной игрушки. Хотел бы поблагодарить всех, кто был с нами все это время. Игра, правда, классная. Я вот прям жалею, на самом деле, что не играл в нее раньше. Хотя она уже очень-очень давно была у меня. Ой, аж мурашки прям, блядь. Так, ну давай посмотрим, что там дальше. Там, скорее всего, заставка. Так, вы ответили на вопрос Уоррена о боге. Вы прошли игру «Столпы земли». Ну, давай посмотрим, давай глянем, что там. А, ну тут титры. Ладно. Опять же, хочу всех поблагодарить. Спасибо. Спасибо, что были с нами. Обязательно будет еще много-много-много-много-много хороших игрушек на канале. Но это в будущем. Всем хорошего дня, хорошего вечера. Вообще, всего хорошего. Обнял, поцеловал. Всем пока.